You've probably been tagged in a post before, a bundle giveaway on Instagram, for example. Your friends may tag you or some family members, and it's really just entering to win their product or a bundle of products. That's kind of like modern word of mouth.
It is. It is.
It's creating buzz and conversation around that brand.
Yeah, and there's all these little tactics that you can use with inside of your marketing. The old way it used to go is you buy a product and word of mouth was, you had to rely on people to go tell people about the product, right? Now with social media, tagging people like you just described or creating unique links for contests to track influence, there's all these different ways where you can, at the end of the day, what businesses need to do is they need to create their customers into passionate fans of their business, and then you enlist your customers to go out and do the heavy bidding for you because they're going to love it because you've done a great job for them. People love to share things when they've had a good experience. Every time I have a good experience, I share it on social media.
Yeah.
So it really becomes, if you think about it from that perspective, we're coming into a little bit of a tough time right now in the economy, right? Dollars are shrinking up, price of things are going up, every dollar counts. So businesses might not have as big of a budget or maybe no budget, but that doesn't matter. You can utilize, if you take a step back and say, okay, I need to figure out how to reach more people, the most obvious place is going to be is through your customers.
Yeah.
Is through friends, through family, and get them to start spreading the word because each Facebook person probably has, I don't know how many friends I have on Facebook. It's a lot. Everybody has a lot.
And here's the thing, small brands just don't have the budget to pay big influencers, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There are ways to get around that, just like we talked about. Creating that conversation through organic, having people share, and that really just goes down to creating customer relationships.
And creating content.
Right, and that's the advantage, too, that you have as a smaller brand. Those big brands, like Tarte just took their big influencers to Dubai. That's different. Yeah. But still, they're not connecting with the whole rest of their customer base on a personal level, versus if you're a smaller brand, you can connect one-on-one with your customers.
Plus, it's going to be a lot more effective than advertising and marketing because a reference from a friend or a recommendation from a friend is always going to perform much better than a typical ad because it's not the company saying this is how great we are. It's somebody else saying how great they are.
And honestly, it also goes back to the social proof. If one of my best friends tags me in a brand's post and I haven't heard of that brand before, I am automatically going to think higher of that brand because someone I personally know is recommending it. That's why they're entering their giveaway. If they didn't see value in it, they wouldn't even bother tagging people.
Yeah, when you get old like me, the only things I buy are recommendations from friends. That's it, So it's a great way to do things. It doesn't cost any money.
Yeah, another thing I think is a great takeaway from this too is like people are always looking for like outside, like, ooh, who's a big influencer that I can get to do my product? But if you're a small business, you really can't afford that. But not only that if you have a really good customer that's already there, you don't have to sell them on how great your product is because they come by you all the time. Exactly. But if you're a local business, that probably person will connect with more people likely to buy your product than even the biggest movie star in the world. Yeah. So double down on those people. Look inside your customer base, find that person, and then motivate them. Give them reasons why they want to promote your stuff even more because, it's going to be cheaper than trying to find an influencer. Plus, you're already building on somebody that's really kind of excited about your product.
There's no doubt about it. Yeah, and listen, while you're doing that, reviews are a big thing, especially for small businesses. When people are shopping small business services, they're looking at reviews. Mm-hmm. If I go to a business that provides a service or I kind of don't know, it's not like a big brand, I'm always going to look at the reviews. And so as you're talking to your customers and asking them, hey, would you mind going to give me a good review? And by the way, if you think we did a good job for you, I'm going to send you a link. Can you share this out with your friends and family and tell them about your experience you had with us, right? So it's really just getting back down. It's the basics, right? Yeah. It's the blocking and tackling and not getting so caught up with the shiny lights and all the big marketing budget and saying, you know what, I'm going to figure out how to get my business sustainable by tightening up my processes. And that's really what this is all about.
The reviews really do matter, guys. And if you haven't seen our podcast about social proof, this is exactly what we talked about. The more reviews you have on your site or the comments, like the positive things reinforcing that your product really is great or your service is great, your management is great, whoever your customer dealt with is great, it's only going to provide that backbone.
That's right. So, listen, on IMDb, any movie, any documentary, I'll go right to IMDb. I know if it has a 7.0 or higher, then it's going to be a good piece of content just because you have so many reviews. You can go there, and that's the first place I go and look. So reviews are a big deal. I know it's wasn't the topic of word of mouth,
Right.
but all of this plays into
Yes.
word of mouth, because now that customer gives you a good review, typically that's going to show up in their timeline because they just gave you a review. So all of these things lead back into creating revenue without spending money, leveraging the people that you've already done good business with to go out and spread the word about your business.
And just to give a hard example, guys, a couple weeks ago, I went to a local nail salon. Okay? It's not a corporation, not a big brand, not a big chain. And they asked me, hey, if you really liked your nails today, would you mind going to give us a review? I don't see any problem in that.
No.
Because they are trying to have that proof because
Yeah.
they saw I had a good experience with them. I thanked them. They were lovely. So, yeah, I went and left a review. It's only going to build it up more. And just like you said, this is all relevant to modern word of mouth. And that's just kind of what we're calling this. You know?
Don't spend the money, spend the time to figure out the processes, and it saves you a lot of money. And when things get tough, these are foundational principles that really are not dependent on the economy, right? These are people you're dealing with in your local community that you know or you've done a good job for, that have come spend their money with you. So it's the most important thing for a business. We say, listen, your customers are the most important thing, and you have to understand that.